the goal of the cabal then? That's a very good question, and it's a very, very relevant question, especially for the young people watching this. There is an end game. It has been working towards it for a long time. This has not been going on for 5 years or 50 years. This goes back thousands of years. And the key to increasing human control has been increasing human centralization of power. So, for instance, there was a time when the human race was made up of tribes, and the tribes decided what happened in the tribe. Then there came a big change when lots of tribes came together under what were called nations. And then a few people at the center of the nation were now dictating to all the former tribes that made up that nation. Through the European Union, we've gone to the next level, which is to bring the nations together under centralized control. And the idea eventually is to have a world government, world army, world central bank, world currency, cashless, which we're headed to.
Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashimal Shai. Double honors to the man that I learned this truth from. Stunned with the apostles and elders of great millstone and all the men on down. Yahweh Bashimal Shai Barakatham to the hopefully elect. Alright, and the title here, man, because the pretty much the title speaks for itself. It says how the Illuminati want to control you. And this is a video done by an interview done by this guy David Icke, if I'm pronouncing that right. I think this was an interview conducted, I believe, and it was either 2019 or 2020. All right, and basically, again, going back to this title, how the Illuminati want to control you, right? And basically, when you watch this interview, man, he's giving like a brief history on how, because this guy David Icke, he pretty much studies this stuff. All right. Well, that's because I might, Lord's will, to spirits on me, man. I'll do a different video, but basically, just because I don't want to veer off topic. Again, this because this guy, he's giving like some, he's giving like insight on how, going back to these elites, how they plan on basically, taking over the world, so to say, and because he mentioned, all these nations coming together, under these, basically these one percenters, these so-called Illuminati or the cabal, the deep state, all right, they're these elites, all right, those that pretty much control everything behind the scenes or whatnot, and he mentioned, let me rewind it.
Decided what happened in the tribe. Then there came a big change when lots of tribes came together under what were called nations. And then a few people at the center of the nation were now dictating.
Those, again, he's, pretty much referring to these elites, all right,
to all the former tribes that made up that nation. Through the European Union, we've gone to the.
So you hear that? Through the European Union, all right, through the EU and NATO, right? This was a this is what basically forms this this beast system that we see going on today. It's all around us. We're currently living in this beast system. All right, but let me play this
next
out.
Level, which is to bring the nations together under centralized control. And the idea eventually is to have a world government, world army, world central bank, world currency, cashless.
So you heard that? World currency, all right, which means a cashless society, which he mentions, we're currently, we're just about getting ready to, pretty much we're in the stages of this transition of, going cashless into, digital currency. All right. We're currently in that stage, that process. All right. But let me play up, man.
we're heading to so
He
fast.
makes some good points, man.
And underpinning that structure of centralized global control is complete control of human perception, and it's happening in front of our eyes.
Why would someone want that? If
Well, I mean, why does Stalin want to control Russia with a rod of iron? Because they're freaking mad. They're psychopaths, and the first there's a thing called the hair test. It's a list of traits, and if you have enough of them, you're a psychopath officially. And the top trait of a psychopath is lack of empathy, the inability to put themselves in the feelings and the situation they're making.
And this is why, man, because again, you know, going back to these elites, man, you know, they're merciless people, all right. They're a merciless nation, all right. Because, you know, being that, hey, man, you know, the for the most part, man, you know, because basically, man, these Edomites, you know, and I'm talking about these one percenters, all right, these elites, or, you know, whatever you want to call them, you know, I mean, you know, they could give a damn about their own people, all right, you know. They'll turn one of their own people in a minute. All right, so how much more the you know, the average Joe out there, especially a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. All right, but again, going back to the point that he made, all right, because being that, you know, these people, man, they have all the natural resources, they have everything. All right, and you know, these are people, they can't get enough. All right, and again, going back to the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. All right, because when you read in Revelation 18, again, what is it about, and how do they plan on controlling? How do they plan on controlling the people? You know, ultimately, you know, they want to take over your soul, man. They want to rule over your spirit. But let me get this real quick. Get this Proverbs 1:29. Let's lock it. Proverbs 1:19. It says, "So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof." All right. Because again, you know, here it is that, because the thing is with again, hence the name, the New World Order. All right, and pretty much them ushering in this new way of doing things. In order for them to do that, they have to get rid of the old way of doing things. All right, they got to get rid of the old system and the old setup and whatnot. All right, so they can usher in this new way of doing things, you know, and you know, this is why you see, because with this whole pandemic, man, it's done nothing but damn nearly eradicate the whole middle class. All right, all these jobs that have been destroyed. All right, but nevertheless, man, because again, you know, Esau, somehow, some way, he's going to set it up. Well, first, because when you read the prophecy in Revelation 13, which I'm gonna get, it says, and he causes all both small and great, rich and poor. So you see, there's no in between. So this is why, you know, going back to how they're pretty much eradicating the middle class. All right, because you're either going to fall in on the side of the rich or in the side of the poor. All right, there's not going to be an in between. All right, and again, because like you said, you know, this process is currently going down as we speak. All right, and this, again, going back to this whole pandemic, man, because it's a perfect excuse. Like it's been said before, it's a perfect excuse for these elites to usher in and bring in this new system, this new way of doing things. All right, you know, and again, you know, because it goes back to greed, man. All right, Esau being that, you know, he has everything, he has all the money, resources, and everything, the fatness of the earth, which was his blessing. All right, but that's not even enough. Now he wants to control your spirit. All right, you know, he wants to control you and who you are. He wants to know what you're thinking. All right, how many breaths you're taking, when you go to sleep, when you wake up, what you're thinking. He wants to know all this stuff. All right, you know, because they're greedy bastards. But let me get this also. All right, because this video, man, brings out some good points. And damn, no, I didn't have it saved up. Where would that be? I think that was in. I think I had it. Psalm 17. Bear with me as I look for this. Yep, right here. Psalm 17. I'm gonna start at verse 9. Psalm 17 and 9. It says, "From the wicked that oppress me." Matter of fact, verse 8, it says, "Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. From the wicked that oppress me. From my deadly enemies who compass me about." All right, because, this is how they benefit off of the oppression of, the average citizen, and again, even more so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. All right, it's all beneficial to them to this is how they get more and more riches, by oppressing the poor and what does the scripture say, man? Because it talks about the widowhood and the fatherless. All right, how you supposed to deal with the widows, and how you supposed to deal with the the bastard childs, or the fatherless children, and things of that nature. All right, which shows that Esau, he doesn't believe in the Bible. All right, because they do exactly the opposite. They feed off of that oppression. All right, but reading on down, verse 10, it says, "They are enclosed in their own fat, with their mouth they speak proudly. They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth." Verse 12, "Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places." So you see that greed, all right? Because again, like this guy was saying, man, they're psychopaths, man, and because the scriptures talk about how, basically, man, the Lord created Esau to he's not right. He's not right in the head. He's deranged, all right. The scriptures say he's estranged from the womb, all right. And this is just how he was created to be. He was created to be, this deranged psychopath, all right. But because again, going back to this interview, man, he makes out very good points, and I'm gonna try to see if I can play through the whole video.
Other people suffer, and when you remove empathy, this lack of empathy, the inability to put themselves in the feelings and the situation they're making other people suffer. And when you remove empathy, all limits go.
Right. Yeah, feeding off the oppression of the poor, all right, making people suffer, and they get a kick out of that, man. And on top of that, they can care less. All right,
We're back to 9/11. Only people with no empathy could possibly do that, knowing the consequences for those people, that could start the Second World Wars. So lack of empathy. But where this is
sadly, those people are also very good at what they do.
They're very good. Yeah. They're very sick, but intellectually they're very, very clever.
Right. So you see, yeah, because again, being that it was written, that because something I always say, man, you got to give it up to Esau. All right. The scriptures say he doesn't, he does a diligent search in the things that he does and the things that he accomplishes. All right. And this is why, like I said, man, you got to give it to Esau, man, because he's that subtile, what does the scripture say? That subtile serpent, all right, that was in the garden, man. He's a cunning, skillful hunter. All right. This man knows what he's doing, man. But keep playing this out.
And they study, and this is what AI is doing. They talk about surveillance and all this technological surveillance, all this AI stuff. Well, it's not just surveillance. All the things that the human race posts on the internet, posts on social media, all that is being fed into AI, which is becoming enormously skilled at understanding the human psyche, therefore able to manipulate.
Yeah, because again, because this is all part of the beast system. All right, and all this, AI and technology and stuff. All right, because basically, man, they get like what's the words that I'm looking for? Like a profile of each and every individual. All right, you know, from everything from what we search up, in a web history, everything, the videos that we look at, the videos that we like, we dislike. They get like a digital profile of us, like a mapping us out, each and every one of us. All right.
Human psyche to control what? We're back to it, control perception. But the end game, in terms of complete control of human perception, is to connect the human brain to artificial intelligence. And this is something I've been warning about now for so frickin' long. And the Silicon Valley crazies are now openly talking about it. There's a guy at Google, he's called a futurist, called Ray Kurzweil. And there are others like him as well. And they're actually giving the year 2030 for which we're in 2019 as we speak, for connecting the human brain to artificial intelligence. And that at that point, and I'm now quoting or paraphrasing Kurzweil, once that connection's made, he said AI will do more and more and more of human thinking until human thinking as we currently know it will be basically negligible.
Right.
In other words, the human mind will become AI, and instead of manipulating human perception will become direct through AI. And this is how they've done it. There's a...
We're already kind of...
Oh, we are.
Can I ask? Can I ask?
Using the phone for a start.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just want to give you a sequence, because this is very relevant to the people watching this. I talked about problem, reaction, solution. There's another technique that is the bedfellow, the stablemate of problem, reaction, solution. I call it the totalitarian tiptoe. And what you do is you start at A, and you know you're going to Z. But if you go in too big a leap to Z, the change is such that people go, what's going on? What's going on? What's happening? So you go as big a leap as you can, but not so big that people see the...
And he's basically going into gradualism, all right? Like if you watch the Elder Brothers, man, and I'm talking about the elders, the real men of the Lord in Great Millstone, all right? When you often hear them talking about gradualism, that's how Esau, that's how he operates, all right? Because it's easy for them to just come out with the microchips, and, just start chipping everyone, all right? But how do they do it? They do it in steps, gradual steps, and that's basically what he's going into, all right? Prepping people up, all right? Because kind of jumping the point here, but he goes on to make the point that, like with this technology, all right, how over the years, man, technology it just increases, and over time, people for the most part, they get so used to this technology, all right, and for the most part, it's like they're going with the flow, like technology updates, people, they're so used to this technology. All right, they're so used to this technology to the point where, they have the technology, right? And then it becomes wearable technology, and then it gets to the point where they want to get to the point where it's inside you, all right? And he goes on to make that point. So let me play this out.
Pattern. So the totalitarian tiptoe to control by AI.
So again, the whole totalitarian tiptoe is just going into gradualism.
I went like this. Stage 1, get them addicted to technology that they hold. Your goal is to get in the body. So first of all, stage 1, you get them addicted to technology they hold. So we had this explosion of the smartphone.
So you see, again, played it back because he said it.
in the body. So first of all, stage one, you get
to get it into the body, right? And what does it say? Going to the prophecy. That's the goal. The end goal is to get this technology inside the body. All right. Revelations 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. And like it's been broken down time in and time out, this word mark, all right, which goes the Greek word charagma,
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
right? Charagma, a stamp and imprinted mark. All right. You know, so again, this is something that and when you go deeper into it, man, that this imprinted mark, something that's going to be physically implanted or put inside of the body, right? And going to the Greek word of that, charagma, which goes back to the charax, right? The pale, the stake or palisade, all right? You know, and when you look up images of a palisade, you know, it's like sharp pointed tip, which basically it just goes into the instrument. There's the syringe, the instrument that's going to be used into issuing in the charagma, which is the chip. All right. But even more so with that, because again, this whole thing with because like it's been brought up before, man, you know, with this whole with the RFID microchip, man, all right, it's gonna have all your information and things of that nature. Because like I said, you know, Esau, man, he wants complete control, man. He wants to know what you're thinking, your thoughts, how many times you blink per second. He wants to know all that. How many breaths you're taking per second. He wants to know all that stuff. All right, all this information. All right, because it's gonna, again, you know, it's gonna have all your bank accounts. You know, it's gonna have all your information on that. All right. So going to this, the Greek word, I mean not the Greek word, but the root word, charax. All right, grapho, right?
Strong's G 1125. Grapho. Grapho.
All right, so this is the root word, and I don't know if I've read it before, but if I haven't, I'm gonna go ahead and read it now. It says to write with reference to the form of the letters, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other material, to write with reference to the contents of the writing, to express in written characters, to commit to writing things not to be forgotten, write down, record. Use to those things which stand written in the sacred books of the OT, to write to one example by writing in a written epistle, to give information, directions, to fill with writing, to draw up in writing, compose. All right, so basically, again, all in all, this goes into the database. All right, because again, going back to the RFID chip, microchip, you know, it's going to have all your information, and all that information it's all going to be on some type of database that these elites, they're going to be able to access whenever they want. All right, you know, they're going to be able to tap into whenever they want. All right. You know, being that these people, they have a godlike complex, man. They want to be like the Most High, you know, and just like the Most High, he knows everything. He knows what we're thinking. He knows what we're going to do before we do it. All right. He knows everything. And Esau, he tries to, again, like the scripture say, man, he tries to portray himself. He tries to exalt himself as the Most High. He wants to know all these things. He wants to have complete control and dominance. These are things that he covets after. All right, because that's all he do. That's all he does, man. He's covetous. All right, but he tries to obtain these things on the left hand, you know, through his technology and whatnot. All right, you know, but nevertheless, man, this is the end game. This is the goal of these elites, man. You know, and like he brought up a good point, man. You know, prepping everyone up, getting everyone used to you know, this technology. All right, you know. different stages. You know, stage one being basically, you know, this boom in technology with the cell phones and all this stuff, right? Having this technology, and then, you know, eventually getting to a point where we have, you know, the wearable technology, right? Which you have your smartwatches and things and stuff like that, all right, and things of that nature. And then, you know, last but not least, man, going back to actually physically having it inside you, which is the mark of the beast. All right.
Addicted to technology they hold. So we had this explosion of the smartphone era, and
Even before that, you could say, I mean,
yeah.
even calculators, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
Tamagotchis.
If you want technology that goes inside someone, I know a few devices.
yeah. Well, you bloody
So you see technology that goes inside of someone. All right. Because that's what the mark of the beast is. It's technology, this device, this wicked device that they're going to put, what they want to put inside all of us. All right. But it's already written that the elect, man, they're not going to take this shit. They're not going to fall for it. All right. But nevertheless, this is the end game. All right. Implantable technology, these implantable devices, or, well, this device, which is the RFID microchip.
you bloody would.
Yeah,
But
believe me, they're not addicted in the same way.
no.
That is interesting, though.
So that's stage one, and that's achieved.
achieved it.
Vast numbers of people are absolutely addicted to technology they hold. You go to stage two, they're holdables. Next stage, wearables. You're going in the body, so next stage you get on the body. This is your Apple Watch, your Bluetooth, and all these things.
So yeah, you see that wearable technology. All right. You know, like with the Fitbits and stuff, people, you know, that are into you know, active sports or whatnot. They like to wear their little Fitbit watches or whatnot to track their heartbeats and all that stuff. All right. That's the next stage, which that's already here. All right. A lot of us, you know, wear this stuff. All right. You know, but how convenient would it be down the road, instead of, you know, having this stuff, you know, wearing this technology, how convenient would it be to actually have it inside of us, you know, and we'd be able, just by thinking it, you know, we'll be able to access these things, because this is the power. This is what we're heading to, and thinking not a far-fetched idea that, you know, Esau doesn't have the power to accomplish these things, because again, you know, the Lord allowed Esau to get this, accomplish these different levels. Well, let me put it like this, because on the scale that Esau wants to get it to, it's not going to get, if it doesn't align up to the will of Yahweh Shemel Shai, it's not going to work out for Esau. All right. You know, because best believe, man, Esau, man, they're when it comes to the wickedness, that the places that they want to take this, man, it's out there, man. It's wicked. It's wicked as hell. Just say that. All right. But again, you know, Yahweh Shemel Shai is not going to allow them to get, so he's only going to allow them to get so far. All right. But again, you know, because thinking not strange, man. Don't think that Esau, man, with the you know, the wisdom that the Lord gave these people on the left hand, that they can't accomplish these things. All right. Having this technology inside of us, and, you know, just being able to think it, you'll be able to, you know, bring it to existence and whatnot. You know, thinking not strange now, you know.
Endless
This
gadgets.
is literally not an
He's
Apple
got an
Watch.
Apple Watch.
So
Endless
yeah.
gadgets that you wear.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is conditioning normality. They're making these things normal. And I'll tell you something about these office assistants in a minute about that too. And then these AI bloody Barbie dolls they've given out for kids and stuff like that. So then you go to the next stage,
Small soldiers.
which is inside the body, which is internal chipping, which I've been.
The charagma, all right, which I just read in Revelation 13:16. The mark, which in the Greek, the charagma. This is what it's talking about. All right, which goes back to the charax, which is again the instrument used. That's the instrument that's going to be used into inserting the charagma into the body. All right, this implantable chip, the implantable device. All right, because again, going back to the whole beast system, right? EU and NATO and whatnot. All right, the whole beast system. All right, and even with the whole RFID technology, so it's already here. It's already around us. The mark of the beast is already here. All right, this just hasn't been implemented yet. All right, and this is the stages that we're coming into. All right, with this whole thing with the vaccines. All right, which I myself and some of the other brothers believe that concerning these vaccines, man, and it's basically prepping your body is paving way for your body to make basically accept this the chip, right?
saying was the plan since about 1992 for kids and stuff like that. So then you go to the next stage,
Small soldiers.
which is inside the body, which is internal chipping, which I've been saying was the plan since about 1992.
Elon Musk is sort of big into that,
Oh,
isn't
don't
he?
talk to me about him.
Not a fan?
No. I really want to hear what you think about
Elon Musk
Hear the Teslas
comes
and all
out
that.
and says that AI could be the end of the human race. On that he's right. And then he opens a freaking company called Neuralink to connect the human brain to computers.
Yeah.
I mean,
To connect the human brain to computers. Revelations 13:16 again, it says, and he causeth all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Elon Musk Neuralink device that links your brain to this technology, to AI, right? And all these other, it's not just Elon Musk. All right, it's all these other, billionaires or whatnot, Bill Gates, all right? They're all low-key promoting this in some way, shape, or form, right?
walk me through that. And
Sort of Overton window sense of
the
thinking
only
there.
the only way that they are going to connect everyone to AI, no matter where they are in the world, is by having every inch of the planet covered with Wi-Fi, the cloud. This is what Kurzweil says, that the human brain is going to be connected to the cloud. So the cloud has to be global. And they are putting thousands and thousands of satellites up in orbit. Musk, one of the major ones through his company SpaceX, to beam Wi-Fi at the planet so no one can escape from it.
Are you of the belief that this 5G thing is something to worry?
Massively. 5G is ramping up this whole, what they call smart grid. Do you notice how everything today is called smart? Mm-hmm. Everything called smart is part of a smart grid, and part of that smart grid is connecting AI to the human brain. So everything is connected by is controlled by AI, and whoever controls AI controls everything. And from one central point, when this grid is up and running and it's being put into place more and more every day all over the world, whoever controls that central point controls not only everything technologically, controls the human mind. And
So you see, because again, all this information, taking this RFID microchip and it's going to link you to this whole beast system or to the internet of things, all right, like some people like to say, all right, and the root of all that, man, again, going back to the graphos or the database, where these elites, man, they're going to be able to access this database, man, and with that being said, man, like you said here, play it back.
place more and more every day all over the world, whoever controls that central point controls not only everything technologically, controls the human mind.
So you see that? Going back to the control, because that's what they want. That's what this is about. The RFID microchip, that's what it's about at the end of the day. It's all about control.
And see how fast things move. I remember some books ago, not that long ago really, I was warning about the plan for something called the Internet of Things, where everything is connected to the internet. Now already billions of things are connected to the internet. Everything's connected to AI and the internet.
And really the prophets, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, have been giving the warnings out. But let me get this, Revelations 18:13, and it says, "And cinnamon and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beast, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves." Because ultimately, if you take that chip, man, you're going to be a perpetual slave. You're going to be, this is Esau's way of branding you as a perpetual slave, and a forever slave. Which we're not. Of course, we're not going to be here in this kingdom forever. This kingdom's not going to be here forever. All right. But reading on, it says, "And souls of men," because that's what it's about at the end of the day. Controlling you take that chip, man. Esau, he's got you. All right. And you belong to him. And basically, man, you're giving ownership of your spirit to Esau. All right. When we belong to Yahweh Shem Shai, and that's why we tell you not to take it. All right. Tell you not to take the vaccines, and definitely don't take the chip. All right. Damn, there was another precept. Damn. Because I said that, again, being that Esau, he wants control, man, and taking this chip, man. He's gonna, you're gonna be branded a perpetual slave. But like I said, because Esau's not gonna be here for forever. All right. Let me get this. On Job 5:12, it says, "He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise." All right, because eventually, again, because they also mentioned in this video, this is something that they have been wanting. This isn't something that they've been planning for the past 5, 10, 20 years. No, they've been planning this for thousands of years. And again, it all goes way back in the beginning. When you read in Genesis, the 11th chapter, right? There was a new world order then. All right, because, something, often we often say concerning this new world order, it's really an old world order. All right, because again, going way back in the book of Genesis, the 11th chapter. And just like in the book of Genesis, the 11th chapter, when they try to establish their new world order, all right, the Lord threw a monkey wrench into their plans. And that's why I read this in Job 5:12, all right, because, just like, and throughout time, there's, the nations have tried to establish this new world order. And the Lord always, threw a monkey wrench into their plans. They always, casted them away, casted them down. The hell? But slacking, man. There's some weirdos out here, but so like I was saying, so just like during the time of Genesis 11 and throughout history, when they tried to establish this new world order, the Lord casting these nations down, is going to be the same way this time. Just because Scripture say just when it might be in this chapter, I don't know, but it says when they're about to fulfill their bellies, man, the Lord's he's gonna basically going to rain on their parade, man. All right, because again, the Lord's only gonna allow these people to get so far. All right, but that was it, man. I'm gonna Lord's will leave a link to this video in case you want to check it out or whatnot. Gotta get back on the plantation, but hopefully this was edifying, man. I just thought this was an interesting video. With that, I'm gonna give all credit to Yahweh Shem Shai and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and all the men on down. Yahweh Shem Shai Barakatham to the hopeful elect, and until next time, I say Shalom.